YouTube, hello! We're here in the finals for week 11 of the DryWalls tournament. It will be Lucas versus Connor Sparks. Both at 8-1, both had a really good tournament run here. We have good luck to both of our competitors. We do these tours every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. You can join through limitlesstcg.com. Let's get into it. We have Lucas with Charizard, Incineroar, Garchomp, Aerodactyl, Sylveon, and Kingambit against Konichi, aka Connor Sparks, with Whimsicott, Charizard, Floette, Garchomp, Incineroar, and Basculegion. Let's see what they want to do here for this game one of the finals as we wrap up this week's tournament. This one was a long one, much longer than we normally go, so I appreciate everybody for sticking around for it. Here we go, game one. What are they going to lead with? What will it be? Let's find out. It will be Whimsicott, the champion tiered, and Basculegion against Charizard and Incineroar for this turn one of game one. Let's see what they choose to do here. Fake out pressure on the board. Immune to any encores thanks to the dark type and the prankster ability, not going into dark types, but you have that Basculegion, you have that Wave Crash, even in the sun, that's still going to do a lot. -1 though, we'll have to see. Charizard Y will Mega Evolve here, getting that sun up with its Drought ability, lowering the attack of all the water moves and raising the attack of all the fire moves on the field. Whimsicott going for Protect, not wanting to get hit by the Fake Out and potentially losing a Sash. And Basculegion also going for Protect here, not wanting to have itself be Solar Beamed while it's not got Tailwind up to outspeed the Zard. Charizard does indeed go for the Solar Beam into the Basculegion slot, hitting into that Protect. 4 turns of sunlight remaining. No Tailwinds up just yet. Basculegion just going to be withdrawing here as Garchomp hits the field instead. That will take the Solar Beam much better, but do they call that swap out as Tailwind goes up from the Whimsicott? And Heat Wave, they do call that it was going to be swapped, going for a Heat Wave instead, doing good damage to the Garchomp, even if it's not very effective, and taking the Whimsicott down to Sash, meaning that it will go down if there's a follow-up from the Incineroar. But what did they choose to do? Parting Shot from the Incineroar going into the Basculegion slot, meaning that Garchomp, -1 attack, already down by like a third of its health thanks to the Heat Wave in the sun from the Charizard. As Aerodactyl hits the field, Aerodactyl can match the Tailwind, and it will be staggered, meaning that they'll have an extra turn if they can get it off. 3 more turns of sunlight, 3 more turns of Tailwind for Connor Sparks. Konichi. Yeah. Wide Guard coming out from the Aerodactyl, not wanting to get hit by any Rock Slides, even though they are at -1 for the Garchomp, as Moonblast does over half of its health to him. Dragon Claw coming out into the Aerodactyl, doubling it up, but not quite enough. It lives on 1% thanks to the Parting Shot going into that slot. And the Heat Wave comes out. It will be taking out the Whimsicott and taking the Garchomp down to 18% of its health. We'll have some music playing. We have the we have set up Basculegion coming out in place of the Whimsicott. 2 turns of sun remaining, 2 turns of Tailwind. Garchomp gonna be swapping out here for the Charizard, champion tiered, on the other side of the field as Aerodactyl swaps out, not wanting to get hit by any Aqua Jets that might be coming out. Incineroar coming in instead, going to lower the Basculegion's attack by 1. Not going to matter to the Charizard as it's a special attacker, as Lucas's Charizard goes for the Protect. Wave Crash coming out does go into the Charizard. Good Protect for Lucas. One more turn of sunlight, meaning that Basculegion after this turn, -1 still, but will have no sun to damper its waves. But Charizard on the other side of the field as well. Could set it back up, but I don't know if you want to do that if you're Konichi to lower your own attack. Incineroar has Fake Out pressure as well this turn. You gotta be careful here. Last turn of Tailwind. Charizard will be swapping out for Lucas, going into Sylveon, wanting to save that sun for a later day, as Charizard does evolve on Connor's side of the field, becoming Mega Charizard Y. Does it protect, though, not wanting to get hit by a Fake Out. Doesn't protect, it does take the Fake Out, getting that 11% of its chip. Charizard does flinch, and it will be Wave Crash for the Basculegion. -1 in the sun into Sylveon, still does over half. That absolutely would have taken out the Charizard based on that damage to a Sylveon. Tailwind is finally over for Kenichi's side of the field. With no Whimsicott, there's no setting it back up for them. Incineroar can get a parting shot off, most likely, but he's got to be careful about the Basculegion on the other side. Things are looking good for Kenichi, even with the Tailwind being up. Even with Basculegion being -1. Sylveon going for Detect, not wanting to get hit by another Wave Crash, not wanting to get hit by a Heat Wave. Heat Wave does indeed come out. Zard is on top again, yes. Heat Wave does come out, going into the Incineroar, taking it down to 82%, only giving a little bit of chip as Wave Crash follows up. -1, but no more sun means Incineroar is not having any fun as it goes down to the double up. I'm proud of that one. But they get a free swap back into Zard, potentially, meaning that they do get a free swap back into Sun. Going to be lowering the damage of that Basculegion, but still, even at -1, even in the Sun, that Wave Crash has a good chance of getting a one-hit KO here against the Zard. You have to be careful. And you are now going to be boosting your opponent's Charizard's damage as well into your Sylveon. You have to be careful here. Basculegion going to be swapping out, just going to be making sure it can pick it up later as Garchomp hits the field. Getting rid of that Intimidate boost. Sylveon going for the double, but not getting it. As Charizard goes for Solar Beam, but now it's going to go into the Garchomp since the Basculegion is swapped out. Going into the Garchomp will be finishing it off, so it will just be Basculegion Chomp against Charizard, Sylveon, Aerodactyl. But Heat Wave comes out. Heat Wave does double connect, so Sylveon does go down since it didn't get the double. Meaning that it's Basculegion, critical hit on the Charizard as well, doing about half. So Basculegion Zard versus Zard and Aerodactyl. Without that critical hit, I think you're safe from an Aqua Chat. You gotta be a little careful here, though, now that you're lower than you normally would be. So many plays could be made. You could go for Solar Beam, Protect, getting rid of the Basculegion, but they could call that and Protect and go for another Heat Wave or a Weather Ball into your Charizard. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. But if they do make that call and they do get it right, the Basculegion's gone and you have Aerodactyl to just close up the game with Zard. Aerodactyl applies a lot of pressure. They have to account for that. But Basculegion also applies a lot of pressure. It's still anyone's game. Basculegion goes for the Protect. Basculegion went for the Protect, not the Aerodactyl. The call was wrong. Rock Slide comes out. Rock Slide will pick up the Charizard here. They didn't want to risk it. They didn't want to risk it. As Solar Beam comes into the Protect, you now have chance. If you get a critical hit with Aqua Jet, you might be able to pick up the Zard here. I don't know if Aerodactyl will be able to take you out with a single Rock Slide. This Aerodactyl, though, does not have the Wing Beat. Yeah, if it was a critical hit, it would have taken it out, but no crit means it's going to live as Rock Slide comes out. Yeah, if you had gotten a crit there, it could have been Jet, and you win. But no crit means that Solar Beam's just going to be able to finish you off here in game 1. Very close game. Could have gone either way. But Lucas going to be taking game 1 here. Very close. Came down to a read on the final turn. And Lucas got it right. All right, going into game 2. Let's see what they lead with. Going to be Whimsicott Garchomp this time instead of Basculegion, going into Charizard and Incineroar. Incineroar's Intimidate will still be putting in some work here against the Garchomp this time. But Escalation is going to be safe in the back. We'll have to see what they choose to do for this turn 1. Double Protect is a good play, but they could call that out and just swap out Incineroar. If you go for Fake Out into Whimsicott expecting a Protect and Tailwind, you can break Sash. But if you Protect and they call the Protect on the Sash slot, you don't Protect with Garchomp, they call that out, then you don't get anything out of it. Charizard going to be swapping out, not going to get hit by any Rock Slides or anything, as Sylveon comes out instead. Much better matchup into this Garchomp as Whimsicott does Protect. Do they double Protect here? No, Incineroar are going to be faking out. They did call out the Protect of the Sashmon. I think Garchomp did more to Incineroar. Garchomp did more to Incineroar with Rough Skin than Incineroar did to Garchomp with Fake Out. That is a funny little trade there. Incineroar actually hurting itself more than the Garchomp. I think that's fine. I think that's fair. Sylveon, though, in a good position now, got in for free as Garchomp wanting to run away from the Fairy type, as it should, as Charizard comes out instead. We'll be able to take a Hyper Voice or Hyper Beam much better. Tailwind now up for Connor, for Konichi. As Hyper Voice does indeed come out, breaking the Sash and doing 30% to the Charizard, a little over a quarter HP. Its Parting Shot comes out, not going for the double up. Not going for the KO, just doubling up into the Whimsicott with Parting Shot, lowering its special attack as they bring out Aerodactyl. Not giving them a free swap this time into what they need. Now applying a lot of pressure here with Hyper Voice and Rock Slide or potential Tailwinds. Being staggered, we'll have to see what they choose to do. Charizard will Mega Evolve this turn though. It went into Charizard Y, setting up the Sun. Why are you doing this? Zard is going to most likely win again, as it's on both teams. Quick Attack from Sylveon will be picking up the Whimsicott, not letting it get another attack off. As Zard goes for a Solar Beam into the Aerodactyl slot. How much is this going to do? Will it be enough? Not enough. Doing about 3/4 of its HP as Rock Slide does connect, getting a KO on the Charizard, leaving it down to Garchomp and the Mysterious Mon in the back. We'll have to see what they are. No matter who wins, Zard wins. All roads lead back to Charizard. Garchomp, the Champion Tiered, will be hitting the field alongside Basculegion, the Champion Tiered. 2 more turns of Tailwind left, but Protects are very easily going to stall that out here. Things are looking good for Lucas in Game 2 already. The Big Six showing why they were the top dog and still are. 4 more turns of Sunlight. Aerodactyl going to be swapping out here into Incineroar. Just going to get another attack drop on both of these Mons. Dragon Claw from the Garchomp. No Protect from the Sylveon. -1 last respects into the Sylveon. How much will it do? Not enough! It lives on 2% as Hyper Voice comes out and picks up the Garchomp, doing a little over half of the Basculegion. That Intimidate was so important for that to live. Oh, what a great turn for Lucas. It looks like it's all wrapped up here as there's 1 turn of Tailwind left for Konichi, for Connor, here in our finals. What a crazy live on 2% for that last respects. It will be a forfeit here, meaning that Lucas is our champion this week. Congratulations to our finalists. Congratulations to Lucas for winning. That is all she wrote indeed. Hey everybody, if you liked that video, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so you can get updated when there's new footage out. If you would also like to catch these videos live, feel free to follow me on Twitch using the link below, as well as Twitter, where you can get any updates and other wacky nonsense. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.